going to quickly show you how to inflate and prepare the step-by-step of the Bestaway inflatable boat. So this is part one of two-part series. The second part is the motor, which you've already seen before. However, Bestaway boat comes in like this. It's just pretty simple to undo. You just store it in the bag that's supplied. We wash it after every use just to keep it clean and tidy and as sand free as possible. So just 4 straps, pretty straightforward. So that is step one, and then from there just going to roll it out. Just roll this, take this part out and just roll this back. Okay, that's step one. Okay, we're just now just going to open this up and make sure that the plug is in, and then all you've got is the 4 different compartments. So there's 1, 2, 3 and 4 is the hull, and then we've got the base, the solid base that goes in. So all we do here is we just lean these out and we roll them to the open position. So this is closed, you just roll it in spring loaded to the open position, and we get the Bestaway pump. It only goes one way. There's your gauge. So we're looking for 0.23, which there's a reminder on there, 0.23 bar. So PSI is in red and bar is in black. So we're after where it says 0.2, just past that on our connection. So all we do is roll this in like so and then pump away. And from here we're just going to inflate it about 30%. It doesn't have to be an exact science, about 30%. And then we clip the base in to come back to you with the base. So from now, all you've got here is part 1, 2, 3 and 4. Likewise with the base. So we click the base in and it's numbered. Number 1 goes first, like so, and then we'll click them in, and then we'll finish blowing up the boat. So we're just conscious to roll these to the side so it can go all the way in, and then we have the number 1 logo, which is not, have the number 1 logo facing up, the upwards position. Cut. Just like that, pull this out so it doesn't get stuck, and away you go. All the way down.
I reckon I should go forward a bit more.
Alright, so for the base, 1, 2 and 3 in that order. We want to get 3 all the way down to the end, and just roll the side back so you can see all of the black lining, and then we pull up 2 and 3. So if you pull back on that wall there, and then we align 2 and 3 in together, and then we just pull the boat side out, and then we just push down, and then it just clips in and then takes up the base, and that is the bottom. From there, all we need to do now is continue to inflate the boat until 0.23 bar or 3.34 psi, and then we have a fully inflated boat ready for the motor.
Sides.
Yes, and the 2 sides.
And the seat.
Yep. Okay, the last couple of bits is just connecting the seat, and all you do before you fully inflate it is just get both ends in, and then as it inflates it just pulls it tight. So just keep it sitting there for now until it's close to fully inflated. These ones here, they just go in between 2 and 3, and then they just roll in and just tap them down. We've got just like a deft mallet to do that. So all it is a matter of rolling this back, pulling up on the base like so, and then just sitting it under there and tapping it down, just as you see this one is here. And once the boat's fully inflated, it will then pull tight together, and you just check it one last time, and that is it. I'll come back when it's fully inflated. Once you've blown it up, just go back around and check that it's all 100% right, and then all you do for the pedals, oars, is they just screw in and drop down. So That way they can be unhitched, unhooked, and then they can be used to row backwards, whether you want to go for a nice row or an emergency situation. So apart from that, the front rope is used as an anchor point, and there's a couple of others on the boat as well. The seat is just what it is, and then the motor will connect up to the back hole there, which will show you, you would have seen a picture of it all together. Literally just 2 clamps that hold that in. And the last part here is what Tate has done, is just lock off these outlets and make sure that they remain in the open positions with the springs loaded. So try not to take any sharp objects on the boat is probably a hot tip. Apart from that, enjoy your boating experience. Enjoy. Alright, this is part 2. This is the motor and startup procedure. So out of the water, you can just tilt the motor, have it all the way up, and then there's a few different ways you can drop it down. But when you're boating in the water, all the way down to the bottom. Shallow water can be adjusted. It's 3 gears, which is reverse, neutral, and forward. Always start in neutral, and I'll just go through the starting procedure. And when you are going into forward gear, you will just put it at low revs will be the changeover. So come around this other side here. So for startup, make sure it's full of fuel. Clamps clamp onto this point, so they're just like a tighten clamp, loosen clamp, have them an even spacings apart on the back of the transom. If cold start, pull out the choke, open up the fuel valve and turn the fuel from the off position, which is this way, to the on position, which is actually opposite to what the sticker suggests. From there, to start up, you'll make sure that this line matches up with the start line and that the kill switch has the connection underneath. From there, make sure it's in water, so I won't start it now. Pull start. Once it's started, just push the choke in slowly, and then you can just increase or decrease as you may need for the revs. And then once you're in the water and you're ready to go at low revs, change into forward, and then use the throttle as you need to accordingly. That is pretty much it. Make sure that the fuel is open. Underneath the motor, there's a couple of things. You can just take the lid off for the 2 connections. Right here is the fuel. Make sure you've got enough fuel before you go out. The fuel filter is around on this side here. While you're there, spark plug, you can just take this straight off. Check the spark plug, it's brand new. Make sure the connection is correct. And then in here, if you've had the motor laying over for any period of time, you can get a bit of oil in with the fuel. Unclip these clamps, clean it out, allow it to dry for a couple of hours, and then reconnect it back up. It should start fine. Make sure at the end you always flush the motor by running that through cold water. And happy boating.